Welcome to our executive interview series at Defense Talks, presented by DefenseScoop. I'm Wyatt Cash, and we're here with Greg Clifton, General Manager for Defense and National Security at Intel. Greg, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, thanks for having me. Glad to be here again.
So we've been asking quite a few folks today, and like to get your perspective on how you see AI and automation helping the Department of Defense be nimbler and more innovative.
Yeah, good question. I think we all know AI is top of mind for everybody these days, the department, the intelligence community across government. I think we're still in the early stages of AI. You hear that, right? A lot of folks say we're still in the first inning of the 9-inning ball game. And so I certainly see them using AI for productivity, collaboration, security, and then more and more in processing the mission. Right? As we look at things, even JADC2, or how do we do ISR in general, that whole data flow and chain of data, I think AI can be super productive. One area that we're talking to the department about, though, is how they take, we've trained models, we have lots of data. How do I now put that out at the edge? And how do I do that inference? And how do I do that fine-grained training out at the edge to really get the answers that we need to take action? And so we're working that, actually building AI into PCs. And it's a new architecture. It's bringing unique technologies. Everybody knows the CPU and GPU, but now there's an NPU, a neural processing unit. And that's kind of at the heart of enabling AI on these PCs at the edge. Some of the key use cases, there's going to be productivity, just personal assistant. How do I take all this information, get it streamlined, give me a recap of what I want to try to do? Saves me a lot of time on that. There's collaboration. We all use Teams or Zoom, so there's ways of making that better. One of the big ones is around cyber, right? If you think right there at the edge, I've got something that can adapt and learn and do cyber at the point of most of the time, right? That's where you get infiltrations in that PC and at the edge, so great for that as well. And then the other big piece is taking those trained models, those large language models. How do I then get really fine-grained so I don't need a supercomputer to run them, but I can do that fine-grained training and inference out at the edge? So I certainly see the department leveraging these AI PCs, doing more and more at the edge where the data is so they can take action and actually make something happen quickly and efficiently.
Well, I appreciate your mentioning NPUs. What other emerging technologies or systems or concepts do you see having the greatest impact on the DoD in the coming 5 years or beyond?
Sure, well, and there's a lot, and certainly the Department of Defense has their critical technologies that they put out, things like biotech and AI and hypersonics. There's a number of them, and some of the key ones that are on there are advanced computing and semiconductors. And if I look at it from an Intel Corporation lens, one of the key enablers of any new capability is going to be the ability to compute it, right? You've got hardware compute, you've got software, you've got network, but one of the key components of that will be semiconductors. And as we've seen across the government, across the industry, the need for a diverse, domestic, secure supply chain is critical, right? And so the CHIPS Act has been a great legislation to help incent companies to build here in the US, but not just build factories, build up the workforce, build up all the surrounding capabilities so that we really truly can have that diverse, secure supply chain of a critical component being semiconductors. Intel's spending over $150 billion doing that in the US and in Europe so that we have that more Western supply chain, spending a tremendous amount of time. I talked about workforce. If you're building these factories, you've got to have people that can work in them and support this industry. So that goes a long way. And then if you think about it, semiconductors, like I said, you've got compute, you've got comms, you need the ability to deploy those. Everybody knows we've deployed COTS technology, CPUs, GPUs for years. We'll still do that. But if you're competing against an adversary, there's going to be some needs to do unique things. Right? Do I do chiplets and combine different technology and IPs to do something unique? Do I do packaging so that we can bring new capability to bear? Or do I design something from the ground up, something brand new to meet a mission need? And so we're investing in that technologies, others are as well, our partner ecosystem, so that we can bring that kind of capability flexibility, unique mission capability to our customers, in that semiconductor chain. So all those technologies would be interesting, that the DoD is looking at, but at the heart of it, from our perspective, you got to have, that domestic, secure semiconductor supply chain.
Absolutely. Well, Greg Clifton, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to join us here at Defense Talks and share some of your perspectives on the future for technology.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks. I appreciate it.